Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. It probably goes without saying that this past year has been extraordinary. So first, I wanted to thank the healthcare workers and everyone else on the front lines keeping us safe and striving to maintain our way of life as best we can, as well as send my sincere thoughts to everyone who's been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, the past year has also cast a spotlight on many aspects of life that we used to take for granted. From my view, as CEO of a networking company, it's never been more apparent how critical the global network is to maintaining some level of continuity in both business and our personal lives. But change is afoot. In fact, change has always been driving the force since the early days of the internet. And today, that pace of change has only accelerated. It's accelerated the nature of our modern world, the need for businesses to digitize, and our insatiable appetite to consume and create data. It all dictates a radically different approach to how we build the foundation of our digital lives. If we think about the top-level drivers that are influencing our customers and their customers, at a high level, it's about digital transformation, devices, data, and distribution. Just about every company on the planet is undergoing some form of digital transformation, from something as basic as going paperless to bigger initiatives like adopting SaaS, building applications with CI/CD models and agile development, implementing large-scale data analytics or IT automation, which all fundamentally change how an organization operates and delivers value to its customers. Analyst firm IDC estimates that spending on digital transformation efforts hit $1.3 trillion in 2020. And this broad trend across practically every industry in the world is leading to a proliferation of two key things: devices and data. Research firm Business Insider Intelligence projected that there will be more than 41 billion IoT devices out in the world by 2027, up from about 8 billion a year ago. All of these new devices coming onto the network and our own insatiable digital needs are in turn spawning a ton of data, which of course traverses the network. In general, it is thought that 2.5 exabytes of data are produced by humans every day, and that will rise to 463 exabytes per day by 2025. That's 185 times in just 4 years. And it's also not as if there's one central location where this data is stored and analyzed. As entire industries and workforces move to remote work model, and our need for near-zero latency on our devices, applications, and services intensifies with the continued rise of 5G, the cloud as we know it is quickly becoming more and more distributed. IDC has predicted that by the year 2022, 60% of all network resources will be deployed at remote edge or service provider locations to get closer to the end user and to satisfy performance needs. That's up from only 20% in 2020. And naturally, these trends have a profound effect on the network. They in fact require the network in order to be successful. The cloud transition that's been underway across all our customers, from enterprises to service providers, and of course, the cloud providers, is only accelerating. In fact, Gartner has predicted that in just the next 4 years, 50% of all organizations will use cloud-based network management platforms as the primary method for configuring and supporting their network. That's up from less than 15% today. And the cloud trend is not only about public cloud. More and more enterprises, especially the large and complex ones, are accepting the practical reality of hybrid cloud models. And until the cloud starts running on pure magic, underlying high-performance hardware is still going to matter. The next bandwidth speed inflection of 400 gig will be playing out throughout this year. In fact, 650 Group says that by 2022, nearly 30% of all money spent on data center switching deployments will be for 400 gig. Of course, as bandwidth needs grow, devices proliferate, digitization becomes more pervasive, and 5G becomes ubiquitous, and the underlying network grows with it, so too do the security risks. In fact, through 2022, 80% of organizations, that's up from 30% in 2018, will undergo some change in their security organizational structure as a direct result of digitalization, according to Gartner. And everything I've mentioned here translates to one uber issue, and that is complexity. Network use cases are becoming more complex with containerization, virtualization, all crossing multiple network boundaries and address spaces running at higher speeds with more stringent SLAs. We fully expect that IT leaders, CIOs, and business leaders will prioritize network automation and increasingly AI and ML to manage infrastructure that can no longer be manually handled. Nearly 50% of enterprises consider accelerating automation a major priority in the next 12 to 24 months, according to a recent report by the Boston Consulting Group. So what does all of this mean for how we move forward as an industry? For decades, this industry has become a race to outspec and leapfrog each other with the latest and fastest box as the complexities of operating the network mount. Juniper was founded on and has derived its success from making high-performance networking silicon, systems, and software for large and typically very technical customers around the world. The good news is that Juniper is very good at this, and we will continue to be very good at it. But networks for the next decade will not look like the networks of the last 2 decades. While networks have traditionally been core to the value chain of service providers, in particular over the last 20 years, now they are core to the value chain of all businesses. As infrastructure has become infinitely more complex, the box simply isn't enough. This is why we are focused on experience-first networking, because winning the next decade of networking will require a new solution that shifts the mindset from the traditional measures of performance and scale to one focused on operational simplicity through software-driven automation and assurance. Think about it as going beyond just building better networks. Our goal is to make networking better. The distinction might sound subtle, but it isn't. This is why Juniper is so committed to simplifying the life of the network operator, to fundamentally transform her experience of deploying and running the network, to free her time from the mundane job of keeping the lights on and allowing her to truly move the needle for the business so that she can be a hero to our customers. Our customers, you, deserve a better experience. Sounds easy enough, right? After all, many other industries, from mobile phones to makers of business and personal applications, have hired entire teams and poured billions of dollars into improving how we use and how we feel about using their products. I'm sure you can all name a few of your favorite brands that makes apps or products you really enjoy using. Unfortunately, and admittedly, I don't think there are many who would list a networking company in that lineup. Well, at Juniper, we're going to change that. And we're going to do it by focusing on 3 business areas, each representing a different network use case. Wide area network solutions that can handle cloud scale and agility, cloud-ready data center solutions for public and private data centers, and cloud-delivered AI-driven solutions for the enterprise. And security is, of course, a foundational element to everything, which is why we call it connected security. First, I want to share with you how we're changing the game with our AI-driven enterprise portfolio. This business includes Mist wireless APs, EX switching, branch SRX secure routing, and SD-WAN, all cloud managed and AI-driven through the Mist cloud. But more than that, it's a prime example of the power of experience-first differentiation driving real customer value. At the heart of our AI-driven enterprise business is our AI engine, Marvis, which more than anything else I've seen in my career is delivering on the promise of experience-first networking. As many of you have probably noticed, AI has gotten a bit of a bad rep, given how noisy the space has become and how liberally people, especially our competitors, apply the term to just about anything. So naturally, there are skeptics out there, and I get that. I was one of them. But make no mistake, our AI solutions and what we are delivering is as real as it gets. Perhaps the fact that one of the top universities in the world, which also happens to be widely recognized as the birthplace of AI, Dartmouth College, chose Juniper to provide AI-driven wired and wireless networking is proof enough that what we have created is real AI. With Marvis, Dartmouth is able to manage 27,000 devices with a very limited IT staff and is even able to augment their help desk staff with students that have little or no IT experience. Additionally, after cloud company ServiceNow deployed Mist AI-driven network, they saw what used to be hundreds of IT trouble tickets logged by employees fall by more than 90%. And a software consultancy in the UK called ThoughtWorks went from managing 96 wireless LAN controllers to 0 by using the Mist cloud. And as a result, the 20 hours it used to take to update the guest Wi-Fi password now takes 10 seconds. I mean, 96 wireless LAN controllers? Talk about an experience nightmare. Stories like these about helping free up valuable IT staff time are a big reason we're seeing so much interest in this technology. Now, I know that our competitors have been talking a big AI game, or as one financial analyst said to me during our recent investor day, many of your competitors have basically adopted the same story, the same pitch. But the problem is you can't just put a legacy LAN controller built for complex on-prem deployments in the cloud and call it a modern cloud-delivered solution. To do it right, to generate the results we're delivering every day, the competition would need to literally start from scratch. Marvis has now been collecting valuable data from networks around the world, as well as the devices that are connected to them, and learning from that data for over 5 years. So even if the competition were to start leveraging AI today in their own ways, they'd find themselves years behind where we are. That's an eternity in high tech. And by threading Marvis through our switching, routing, and security products, Marvis is only getting smarter and smarter, making even more and better decisions all on its own without a human touching the controls. Marvis is truly unique, and organizations all over the world will continue to benefit from its differentiation. To me, it is no wonder why Gartner positioned Juniper as a leader, highest in ability to execute in their 2020 Magic Quadrant for wired and wireless LAN access infrastructure. So we're leaders. In fact, I would say we're the leaders. And now what? Well, now is the time to realize the full vision we have for our AI-driven enterprise business. From day one, the vision behind the Mist experience has always been client to cloud, not just wireless LAN, and not even just wired plus wireless. Delivering a great user experience is necessarily about everything from user to the cloud, because ultimately, that is the end-to-end path that will make or break the end user experience, which is exactly why we've recently combined with 128 Technology to bolster our vision of client to cloud, to take our momentum and success to a whole new level. So why 128 Technology? After all, it's no secret that our industry is littered with SD-WAN solutions. It comes down to three things. First, 128 provides a best-in-class operator experience for both deployment and ongoing operations. Second, 128 brings superior economics because of its unique tunnelless architecture. We're talking about a 40% reduction in WAN overhead and a 75% savings in hardware costs. And lastly, 128 offers superior performance, especially for the kinds of network applications that matter most today, like real-time voice and video. For example, it can take up to 30 seconds to resolve a drop video call using a traditional SD-WAN solution because it takes time to find another network tunnel. With 128, that happens in under a second. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm on a customer video call and I drop for 30 seconds, that can be more than just mildly annoying. It's unacceptable. It's clear that our experience-first strategy is changing the game in the enterprise client-to-cloud networking. But we're not stopping there. Let's look at the data center, the heart of next-gen cloud services. In this business, we're specifically focusing on our public, private, and hybrid cloud data center solutions with our QFX switching portfolio and Contrail software-defined networking offerings. It's with this portfolio that we're able to support our customers, like Zoom Video Communications, which trusts Juniper to power its data center infrastructure. And we all saw the absolutely massive amount of growth Zoom has undergone this past year. We have a fantastic portfolio in place with industry-leading EVPN VXLAN support, which is increasingly becoming the network protocol of choice for the modern data center. We were first to market with a 400 gig switch leveraging Broadcom's latest Trident 4 chipset. And Junos Evolved has the necessary attributes of a cloud-ready operating system. But while the past has been dominated by CLI and the future is about making the experience of networking better, allowing people to spend time innovating, not merely operating. To that end, we've now coupled our portfolio with a truly best-in-class automation solution by combining it with Apstra, bringing self-driving networking to the data center with a solution developed by real industry luminaries. In fact, Apstra pioneered the intent-based concept of network operations that radically simplifies deploying and operating modern data center networks. Just describe how a data center should behave in terms of outcomes and watch the system implement and continuously assure that the network behavior matches your intent. In fact, one large cloud customer running a data center network with hundreds of switches conducted an internal study of its Apstra deployment and found that it achieved a 70% faster time to resolving issues, an 83% reduction in OpEx, and a 99% improvement in agility over its previous solution. When you consider that a recent Uptime Institute survey found that half of data center operators are now experiencing staffing shortages and difficulty filling open positions, it is no wonder why there's such a need for intent-based networking. Yahoo Japan would probably agree. They said of using Apstra, all you need to do is connect the switches to the network, and Apstra automatically configures them, and what used to take several days is now completed in tens of minutes. And last but not least, let's look at the WAN, the business that put Juniper on the map. It's what allows us to count 49 of the top 50 service providers and 20 of the top 20 cloud providers among our valued customers. With the advent of 5G at 400 gig, the WAN is undergoing a major upgrade cycle. We're executing in this business to bring the same benefits of experience-first operational simplicity to our service provider, cloud provider, and large enterprise customers as they transform their networks for the next decade of networking. Our approach is to focus on three key areas: the 400 gig inflection, metro and access networking, and automation. Now, when it comes to performance, our classroom has a rich history. We've had a front row seat and learned every step of the way from the most demanding hyperscale cloud providers and top-tier service providers in the world as they've evolved their networks over the years. Well, we're now bringing that rich history and the lessons to bear for the 400 gig transition, and we're already partnering with our customers to make this transformation a reality. We've made our operating system Junos more modular to enable a far simpler upgrade process. We've made it more flexible to meet the demands of our cloud customers that require more programmability. And Junos' advanced state management gives operators a greater level of visibility and much better access to data across the entire network. And we've now released 4 new silicon engines in the last 3 years to improve performance, power efficiency, programmability, and security to pave the way for 400 gig. I have no doubt that this inflection will be big. We have compelling and differentiated technology and are ready to help you capture this next speed grade in networking. In fact, we're already seeing strong momentum with well over 100 customers around the world who've made the decision to build their networks with Juniper's 400 gig routing and switching products. Another important WAN opportunity that I'm really excited about is the metro. Simply put, you can't build a robust 5G network without building a metro access and aggregation network that's capable of dealing with the vast increases in scale, capacity, and new service expectations that 5G promises. In many ways, the metro has become the new high-performance and intelligent edge. And as a result, analyst firm ACG predicts that by the year 2025, the combined average monthly mobile and fixed broadband traffic per user on the metro will increase nearly 4 times, making this one of the fastest growing subsegments of the WAN. This means we must rethink how the metro is built to prepare for all of the opportunities and use cases 5G will unlock. And as I've said earlier, this isn't about throwing more boxes at the problem. The new challenge is in reinventing the network to deliver more than just connectivity. Our strategy for the automated WAN is to go beyond simplifying operations. We want to give service providers the ability to do more than just sell connectivity, but to also offer assured experiences to end users. Why? Because service providers have said that improving the customer experience is actually the top strategic priority for them, according to a global study of telco priorities from Ernst & Young. A higher priority than just cost controls, a higher priority than organizational agility, and an even more than network upgrades. Experience matters more than ever, especially at a time when user expectations are at an all-time high and attention spans at an all-time low. We've been working diligently to evolve the needs of our metro with a new solution that we just announced this morning to help our customers simplify network architectures and service provisioning. The new cloud metro, as we call it, combines the raw horsepower of our industry-leading routers with the automation prowess of our Juniper Paragon automation suite to give our service provider customers a much simpler path to fully assured and intent-driven service delivery life cycles. But what does all of that mean? It means you can focus on driving your business forward, not worry about the manual specifics of deploying and provisioning. It means you can innovate new services to delight end users and exceed their expectations. It means you can change the experience of the network. And as many of you likely saw last year, we acquired NetRounds, now called Paragon Active Assurance, to give the solution portfolio a clear edge. It gives our customers the ability to go from just offering basic connectivity to actively assuring the highest quality of experience possible to your end users. Take, for instance, Orange Egypt, a service provider with over 30 million subscribers in the Middle East, said about using Paragon Active Assurance, our operations and engineering teams can locate and fix issues before they impact our subscribers' quality of experience. Typically, telecom assurance solutions take months to deploy, but we completed this deployment project in record-breaking time. Metro networks are about to get a lot more exciting, and Juniper is ready to lead the way. In summary, these are the areas in which we are investing and the strategy we are executing on at Juniper. And I believe with full conviction that this strategy will pay off not just for us, but more importantly, for our customers, for you. As humans, we've spent centuries overcoming obstacles that were once thought to be impossible. Vaulted mental hurdles and broken physical barriers have become routine sightings in the wake of all we've achieved. Exploring the far reaches of outer space and delivering breakthrough vaccines in record time are the latest headline grabbers. But these milestones will not decelerate. There will be more discoveries, more innovations, more progress, and more achievements in the coming years ahead. And technology, more specifically, the global network that keeps us all connected, should never be what holds us back. We've reached a point where humans, for all that we've overcome and achieved, simply cannot keep up with the task of manually managing rising complexity and the deluge of data traversing our networks. This is why our commitment to all of you, our customers and partners, is delivering networks that are highly automated, self-running through intelligence and software, and increasingly through AI. This is why our true north is experience-first networking. Thank you very much.